G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and this is a video just to showcase my mural. Some of you have probably seen the fact that I did a speed painting showing the time lapse of painting the mural, and I also did a tutorial showing you the process of making it. The reason I made this mural in the first place was because I've moved to a new studio, and in the several years of videos I've made on this channel, the background in the video box of my face in every video has always been quite boring. It's always been the background of a room, be it messy or clean, random walls and doors and whatever. And I thought it was time to add a splash of color and creativity behind the background of the face of the tutorials. And I wanted it to just contain everything that inspires me and has been part of my creative journey. And also so that every day when I see it and go to work, I can just feel that reinforcement of where I've come from. So I'm just going to take you through these characters one by one and explain a little bit as to how they've been a part of my journey. In the top right corner of my mural is a dragon. This isn't a specific dragon from a specific story or show or movie or whatever, it's just a dragon. And that is because I love dragons and I love medieval themes. I've always loved medieval themes and dragons, and it wouldn't be a mural to me without a dragon. Next to the dragon in the center of the mural is Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Ever since I was the age of about 11 years old, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z every morning, and I endured every single episode of and it was awesome. I loved it. It creatively inspired me quite a lot. I used to copy and trace pictures of the Dragon Ball Z characters, which actually, without me knowing it, taught me a lot about the human figure and poses and anatomy and things like that. Next on the mural are Jim and Morph from the movie Treasure Planet. I'm very glad to see that a lot of people have shouted out happily that they see Jim and Morph on the mural, and in my opinion, Treasure Planet is one of the most underrated animated movies of all time. I just loved that movie. It was without a doubt my absolute favorite Disney movie growing up. It had amazing animation, fantastic character art styles, it was just so captivating, and oh my god, any movie that has background music of like tin whistles and Irish flutes and stuff is just, gets me. And come on, animated space pirates, guys. Need I say more? Also on the mural is a Space Marine Blood Angel from the game Warhammer 40k. So anyone who's played tabletop games, and probably a lot of people who have played computer games, know of the Warhammer 40k series. I used to collect the miniature figurines, and I mostly used to collect them because I liked painting them. And the starter pack came with Space Marines, of course, and I had to pick a faction, and I picked Blood Angels because my favorite color was red, but not like sissy red. It's got to be like awesome, cool red, and it was blood. So Blood Angels, and it turned out that they were a pretty cool team to go, and it was an awesome game. And a lot of the techniques I actually learnt even in digital painting, or painting things like the mural and things like that, really originate from me painting these figurines and learning how colors mixed and how layers add on top of one another and how to give things different looks and all of that stuff. Now, throughout the mural, there are scattered some characters from a website called Newgrounds.com. If you're new to this channel, you may not know that it is sponsored by Newgrounds.com. If you aren't new to this channel, you absolutely already know that. These characters are part of the core identity of Newgrounds, and the reason Newgrounds is such a big part of my life and a big part of this channel is just because it's been this cultivating cesspool of creativity and collaboration and support, and it's just been so amazing. And I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't have even started this YouTube channel were it not for Newgrounds.com. So a huge thank you to Tom and the Newgrounds community, and to characters like this on the wall, like Dad and Bitey of Brackenwood and Captain from Tankman series, just all these characters that I used to love watching the cartoons for and going through frame by frame while I was learning animation. Now, you may have noticed a very scantily clad lady on the wall behind me, and this lady is Sarah Pizzini from the Witchblade comic book series. The reason I included Witchblade on the series is because there was a very long period of my artistic development where drawing girls was just a scary thing for me. Because I hadn't developed it very well, I kind of shied away from it, and just because I wasn't good at it. And we tend to naturally not want to do things we're not good at, and in the end it just crippled me and it sucked. Anyways, one day I was reading the Witchblade comic book series, and these girls drawn in the comic book were just so sexy. Like, they just drew them really sexily, and I just thought, this is stupid. Why can't I do this? And it was Witchblade that changed my life. And while I may not be an amazing illustrator of sexy women, the women I draw now are by far and away better than the women I used to draw. The women I used to draw looked like gangly men with bulbery breasty things that poke out of the middle of them, and they often looked like lizard people. So I've included Sarah Pazzini the Witchblade as a props to that part of my creative development, and of course to add a little sex appeal to the wall. Next up on the characters on the wall is Heath Ledger's Joker. Now, why Heath Ledger's Joker? Why not just the Joker? Why not a comic book or TV interpretation? Why not Jack Nicholson's Joker? Well, Heath Ledger's Joker kind of got me obsessed for a period of time. When The Dark Knight came out, after seeing that movie, I don't know why, but it just struck something in me. I was just so inspired by his performance, and I was just so obsessed with that interpretation of the Joker. And I used to pride myself quite a lot on doing an effective impersonation of Heath Ledger's Joker, which went a little something like this. You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker and a fiend, and one night he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself, and he doesn't like that. Not one bit. So, me watching, he takes the knife to her, laughing while he does it. He turns it to me and says, "Why so serious?" Comes at me with the knife. "Why so serious?" He sticks the blade in my mouth. "Let's put a smile on that face." Next up on the wall is Larry and Pup. They are characters from the series I animated called Larry of Carry On, and I only got to do 3 episodes of this series, but it was easily one of the funnest series I've ever created, and if there is anything I ever want to go back to and make something more of, it's the Larry series. I just had so much fun with the characters I created in that world, and I just was really blown away by the reception that it received and the support that people gave me for that series. I also think it was the first series I made that began where my content creation skills were at more of a professional level. So everything I'd created before then was either really sloppy at the beginning or just kind of had a bit of shakiness throughout it, whereas the Larry series was just a lot more polished from the beginning, though not perfect, just the best that I had at the time, and still looking back was quite good for what I can do. Now, I also can't miss mentioning the D&D dice on my wall. This is a bit of an obscure little reference there, but it's just a bit of a nod to the fact that I have always loved tabletop roleplay, and the real traditional kind, not like the little characters moving around and you're in a dungeon kind, the kind where you play a character, and the very theatrical kind. I've always really loved that, and the stories that you can come up with just a bunch of friends in a room with a few dice to guide the story. It's just so much fun, and it's been a huge part of my development and things that have inspired me. And of course, always medieval themed. You can't go wrong. Pikachu and Pokemon. Come on, which 10-year-old kid did not have a raging obsession with Pokemon? I used to collect the cards, I used to watch the TV show, and I used to have all of the Game Boy games. Lifestealer, or Nax, of course, is from Dota 2, and Dota 2 still remains to this day my favourite computer game, though I get less time to play it nowadays because I tend to be quite busy. I just love it. In fact, yesterday I just had a LAN session playing Dota 2. It's just such a fun game, and Lifestealer was probably the one I thought looked the coolest when I started the game, and to this day is probably my most effective hero. Now, I've also received a lot of questions as to who the lady is behind the avatar of me in the picture. This lady is my fiancee, Kate. Hi sweetie, I love you, I know you're watching this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting married in less than a month to the woman of my dreams, and Kate has just been an inspiration and has just been the wind beneath my wings. The reason she's freaked out by Lifestealer from Dota 2 is because she doesn't really get Dota 2, and I'm not going to try and force her to, because at the end of the day, we both have different little things that we like. She likes shoes, I like flesh-eating zombies in computer games. But just to add that bucket of corniness into this video, I can't wait to get married to this woman. I tend to keep my personal life a little bit more personal and away from my videos, but Kate is a huge part of my life and the biggest support I have behind the scenes when I'm managing my channel and doing all my client work and everything. Now, I'd like to tell you that that's the end of the corniness in this video, but it's not, because the thing I've left for last is this big YouTube play button behind me. And the reason I have this in the center of my mural is because at the end of the day, I'm doing what I'm doing for a living, and it's become a living because of you all. It's become something I can actually sustain as a job because of the support that the YouTube community and all of you have given me. So thank you all so much for being a part of this whole discovery, this whole journey, and the fact that I'm here in the studio now and that I have this mural behind me where 2 years ago it started as a bit of an experiment or a trial, and you know, here I am today. It's just this amazing feeling. So thank you so much for being a part of it. And if you haven't subscribed or liked or commented, come on, join the party. It's great. Anyways, that is it. That's my mural. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Why so serious?
It's quite difficult to do this when you have a cold. It's less effective. Why so serious?